Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 10:15, and we promised we'll start the program, so we are starting the program. The early bird gets the worm. जो लोग रास्ते में हैं वो कुछ ना कुछ खोएंगे, इसलिए हम लोग कार्यक्रम को शुरू करते हैं आज का. A big round of applause for all the wonderful people who have traveled from their abodes to be with us and celebrate the 20th Engineering Council of India Foundation Day, the 10th ECI Eminent Engineers Awards function, and the 18th National Conference Preparing Engineers for Sustainable Development. कबीरदास जी ने कहा था, दुख में सुमिरन सब करें, सुख में करे न कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. आज वही कहावत चरितार्थ होती नज़र आ रही है. आज जो हॉल की खाली सीटें आप देख रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं इसमें कोविड का भी थोड़ा सा समावेश है. कोविड के नंबर्स बढ़ रहे हैं, तो हम लोगों को क्या करना है, आज की थीम जो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट है, हमको इस महामारी के प्रति सस्टेन्ड एफर्ट्स भी लगाने हैं, विच इज़ नथिंग बट कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर. यस, 2 गज की दूरी, मास्क है ज़रूरी, जहाँ तक हर संभव प्रयास करें, मास्क लगा के रखें, 2 गज की दूरी मेंटेन करें, हाथों को धोते रहें. ये सब अच्छी प्रथाएं हैं, गुड प्रैक्टिसेस, सो वी नीड टू फॉलो. एंड लेटर इन द डे वी विल ऑल्सो सी हाउ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट बाय इंजीनियर्स, सतत प्रयास, निरंतर प्रगति, वही एक मार्ग है जिस पे चलने से हमें ये सब हासिल होगा. द 3 pillars, as they say, for any sustainable development would be economic prosperity, social inclusion, and environmental protection. तो इन तीनों स्तंभों को अगर इंजीनियर्स को पाना है, या डॉक्टर्स को पाना है, या वकील को, या हर प्राणी को जो इस भूमंडल पर रह रहा है उसे पाना है, तो हमें इन तीनों चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए ही आगे बढ़ना है. तो आज का कार्यक्रम आगे बढ़ाने से पहले मैं आग्रह करूंगा चेयरमैन ECI डॉक्टर उदेश कोहली जी का कि वो मंच पे आएं और परंपरागत तरीके से आपका अभिनंदन करें. कोहली साहब.
I'll request Dr. Parekh also to kindly come in the dais, chairman of the jury. And I think I can take off the mask for a while. No. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, all the distinguished winner awardees, the distinguished guests, and the participants. I welcome you all to this function today, which is being held after almost, national conference being held almost after 2.5 years in the physical mode. And the award function we had last year, but that was in a virtual mode. So in physical mode, we are meeting almost after 2.5 years, really. And let's hope that COVID goes out of way soon, it subsides, and we are able to resume all the normal activities. The Eminent Engineer Awards, in fact, we used to have separate function of Eminent Engineer Awards and the Foundation Day and the National Conference. But since we could not hold the National Conference in November last year, so we combined the two into one. Our chief guest, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, who had accepted to be chief guest, had to go to US suddenly, so he is not with us. And in his absence now, I'll request Dr. Kirit Parekh, chairman of the jury, also to be our chief guest for the day. I requested him, he very kindly accepted it. The awards which were instituted in 2012, have been going continuously, and we have been honoring the eminent engineers in industry category and research and consultancy category in the past. In fact, in honoring them, we are also honoring ourselves, I would say, because they're such eminent people. If they accept the award from ECI, it is an honor to ECI as well. The national conference, which is a one-day affair, also has attracted eminent speakers in various sessions, and I'm sure the deliberations of the conference will be of great help and very educative for all of us. Basically, every such gathering is a learning experience. I won't take much of time because we are already delayed, so I will request Mr. Ashutosh Bhardwaj to proceed with the proceedings of the day.
Thank you, Dr. Kohli. Our chief guest, a word about him. ऐसे तो उनके लिए एक शब्द बोलूं चाहे 100 वो कम ही पड़ेंगे. Shri Suresh Prabhakar Prabhu has held various cabinet portfolios in Government of India such as Commerce and Industry, Civil Aviation, Railways, Environment and Forests, Power, Industry, etc. and has scripted various reforms and effected organizational transformations. Unfortunately, due to exigencies, he has not been able to come in person, but he conveys his best wishes and greetings to the awardees and audience through this video message. Allow me to play the video message for you. Suresh Prabhuji.
I congratulate my dear friend Udesh Kohli for organizing this program of ECI. Every year he does it steadfastly, committedly, dedicatedly to honor some of the great individuals who had done something great in the field of engineering. He honors individuals so that it motivates others to follow them. Engineering and engineers play a key role in society. If there are no engineers, there cannot be infrastructure. If there is no engineering, you cannot build anything, whether it's house or a bridge or airport or a seaport or anything. So engineers and engineering is a key integral part of our human life. I congratulate the winners for today's award. I was very keen to attend this program in person, but I am traveling. But Udesh ji has been my colleague and my friend, and I have seen his dedication when he was just heading Power Finance Corporation, when I was the Minister of Power. And since then I have been observing him, a most dedicated professional who is an asset to any organization, is an asset to society, has been leading this organization and organizing this event for many years. I once again congratulate him, congratulate ECI, and I am sure all of you will give me another opportunity to meet you soon when you organize the next event so that I can meet you all in person. Thank you very much. I congratulate my dear friend Udesh Kohli for organizing this program of ECI. Every year he does it steadfastly, committedly, dedicatedly to honor some of the great individuals.
So those were the words of encouragement from Suresh Prabhuji. Unfortunately, due to exigencies, he has not been able to come in person, and as Shri Prabhu is unable to join us, Dr. Kohli has already requested Dr. Parikh, who is also the chairman of jury for ECI's Eminent Awards, to do the honors today. Padma Bhushan Dr. Kirit S. Parikh is a former member of Planning Commission, Government of India, and is presently the chairman, Integrated Research and Action for Development, New Delhi. A big round of applause for him. तो ज़्यादा वक्त न लेते हुए आप सभी की दीर्घायु और स्वस्थ जीवन की दुआ करते हुए आइए आज के पुरस्कार वितरण समारोह का हम आगाज़ करते हैं। आज के हमारे पहले पुरस्कार के विजेता हैं जो कि ECI चेयरमैन्स कमेंडेशन अवार्ड है, वो दिया जाता है प्रोफेसर OP गुप्ता जी को। प्रोफेसर OP गुप्ता VSM। Professor Gupta is a former Chief Engineer MCD and is present Senior Advisor CIDC and ECI, Senior Professional Engineer of ECI, Secretary General ICC, and Acting Registrar Construction Industry Arbitration Council. He is an arbitrator par excellence. और मैं आग्रह करूंगा डॉक्टर कोहली और डॉक्टर पारिक का कि मंच के आगे आएं और इनको सम्मानित करें. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Professor Engineer O.P. Gupta VSM, who gets the Chairman Commendation Trophy for year 2021. मैं हमारे मुख्य अतिथि और डॉक्टर कोहली का आग्रह करूंगा कि वहाँ 1 मिनट और रुकें. हमारा दूसरा अवार्ड, चेयरमैन कमेंडेशन अवार्ड इन दिस कैटेगरी इज प्रेजेंटेड टू श्री अखिलेश श्रीवास्तव. वी हैव मिसेस श्रीवास्तव. Mr. Akhilesh Srivastav is was heading the IT and Commercial Operations divisions at NHAI. Mr. Srivastav rose to head as CEO of IHMCL, Indian Highways Management Company Limited, an Indian company promoted by NHAI and MORTH. He is currently leading the World Economic Forum's initiative, Road Safety 2.0 in India. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Srivastav. Unfortunately, he is also traveling, so he has not been able in person to come and collect the award. Sir, Eminent Engineer Award तीसरा award भी कर देते हैं. Now we move on to the Eminent Engineers Award in Industry category. And this goes to Shri Shiv Nadar. We shall read out the citation for the award before we invite him to collect the award. As we all know, Shri Shiv Nadar is the founder of HCL Enterprise, a 11.2 billion global organization with over 2 lakh professionals operating from 52 countries. He is also the Chairman Emeritus and Strategic Advisor to the Board of HCL Technologies, a group company, and India's 3rd largest IT services organization. Nadar is credited with being one of the pioneers of the computing and IT industry in India. Under his guidance, HCL has continued to ride the waves of the changing IT landscape for 45 years and remains at the forefront of every technological revolution since 1976. While HCL started off as a hardware organization, manufacturing the country's first indigenous computer and introducing them to the Indian consumer, it eventually evolved into a more comprehensive software services organization. HCL is in fact one of the few global IT companies founded in the 70s that remains in existence to date. Again, the sustainability. Throughout his career, Shri Nadar always acknowledged that successful institution building is dependent on forging result-oriented partnerships and creating new knowledge. He steered HCL to create several valuable joint ventures and alliances that aided the organization's emergence as a global technology enterprise. His pioneering spirit and belief in engineering and research shaped the course of the organization and is the reason that today HCL Technology boasts of one of the largest IT engineering and R&D divisions in the world. Shri Nadar started his career as part of the elite DCM management training system. It was at DCM that he met people with whom he later started HCL in a Delhi Barsati akin to a garage startup, with a compelling vision that the microprocessor would change the world. Shri Nadar credits his success to the education and scholarships that he received during his early years. He has always maintained that access to quality education is the most potent tool of transformation, and therefore in 1994, he established the philanthropic Shiv Nadar Foundation. The foundation draws heavily on Shri Nadar's experience of building a world-class organization like HCL. It endeavors to create institutions of transformational education that will continue to influence and nurture the country's youth for decades to come. To his effect, the Shiv Nadar Foundation has established six institutions covering the entire spectrum of education, which aim to address the issue of quality in education, create lasting partnerships, and have a strong research orientation. As of 2020, Sri Nadar has invested US $988 million through the foundation, impacting over 34,000 students directly. However, the foundation's ultimate aim is to nurture the next generation of leaders in the ideologies of symbolic growth, so that each of them may in turn aspire to effect a small change, creating a large multiplier effect. The impact of the Shiv Nadar Foundation institutions is today reflected in the aspirations of meritorious students who started their journeys from humble, geographically remote backgrounds, but are today pursuing their dreams in India as well as other countries. In recognition of his pioneering role in business and philanthropy in India and across the globe, Sri Nadar has received several honors and accolades, notably being the Padma Bhushan from the President of India in 2008. Sri Nadar is married to Kiran, an Asian Games medalist and internationally renowned bridge player. She is also one of the largest Indian art collectors in the world. So ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Mr. Nadar and Mr. Sunil Sundar Mahalingam, President Strategy HCL, who's amongst us, will be receiving the award on Mr. Nadar's behalf. Mr. Mahalingam, and may I request the dignitaries to kindly do the honors once again. तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट थोड़ी मध्यम है, इसे और ऊपर कर सकते हैं अपने लोग. Thank you, Mr. Mahalingam, and thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. Moving on, we have two recipients this year for the Eminent Engineers Award in Research and Consultancy category. We are honoring Dr. Bhatkar for his towering past achievements and Dr. Pandit for his already significant achievements with even a greater promise for the future. Before I invite Dr. Bhatkar to collect his award, let me read out his citation for all of you. Dr. Vijay Bhatkar is one of the most acclaimed and internationally acknowledged scientists of India. He is best known as the architect of India's national initiative in supercomputing, where he led the development of India's first supercomputer, Param, in 1990, under the technology denial regime. Dr. Bhatkar is also widely known for bringing ICT to the masses through a wide range of path-breaking initiatives, such as the celebrated GIST multilingual technology covering India's 22 official languages with 10 diverse scripts that has dissolved the language barrier on computers once and for all. MKCL's computer literacy program that made a world mark by creating 15 million computer literates within a decade, making it one of the world's largest program of digital literacy and education to home, ETH, initiative for bringing the benefits of ICT to school education, spanning over 10,000 schools. In the 80s, Dr. Bhatkar substantially contributed to the ushering of electronics revolution in India through the development of color TV and color broadcast in India. He is also credited with the creation of several national research labs and institutions, notably amongst them being CDAC, ERNDC Trivandrum, IIITMK Technology Park, MKCL, I-Square IT, and Multiversity. Simultaneously, he has mentored several innovation-based startups. Dr. Bhatkar is today acclaimed as one of the top 25 pioneers who contributed to the development of India's US 180 billion plus IT industry. Dr. Bhatkar has served as a member of the Scientific Advisory Committee to Prime Minister, member of the Governing Council of CSIR, and a member of the IT Task Force constituted by PM in 1998. He is a life fellow of IEE USA and Fellow of ACM USA, besides being Fellow of CSI, INAE, IETE, NASI, MASC, and GES. He has served as the chairman of e-governance committees of Maharashtra and Goa. Dr. Bhatkar has authored, edited over 120 books and 80 technical and research papers and addressed several university convocations, international and national conferences and conventions and public functions. His groundbreaking articulations have been widely covered by both print and broadcast media. His current research interests are in supercomputing, artificial intelligence, brain-mind consciousness, nano-bio-info-Congo, convergence, and synthesis of science and spirituality. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to call upon stage Dr. Vijay P. Bhatkar to receive his award. And since he is not here, Shri Baljit Singh Bedi, COO, Telemedicine Society of India, will receive the award on Dr. Bhatkar's behalf. A big round of applause for the category. We have a short video from Dr. Bhatkar and we'll play that message, his acceptance speech.
Today is a very special day for me. For today, Eminent Engineer Award of ECI Engineering Council of India will be conferred on me. Actually, I should have been there. I'm missing this very privileged event in my life. But for medical reasons, I'm not able to travel to Delhi. I understand that this award, chosen for this award, recommended for this award by Dr. R.A. Meshalkar, who is a very distinguished engineer for, I think, for his unique and all along, I think, for his remarkable contribution to the field of engineering and engineering policies. So not only his own field, but entire spectrum of engineering policies that we have come out. I am accepting this award with great humility and, of course, great professional satisfaction. I should have been there really, and I'm missing this. I will be missing this unique event in my life. When I was looking back, what have been my contributions to the field of engineering, which I adore? Particularly, I adore the field of systems engineering. It is the systems engineering, I think, because of which I have been able to do what I have been able to do so far. If I look back, my contributions have been in the field of electronics and particularly in the field of supercomputing. When India was denied supercomputers, which we had requested, which we had asked for from the US, actually we wanted to purchase, this was denied to us because it was treated as a double-edged technology at that time. And then we were given the challenge of developing our own indigenous supercomputer by the then Prime Minister. At that time, we had not seen a supercomputer. And when Rajiv Gandhi had asked me 3 questions whether we can do it, I said, I have not seen a supercomputer. But in the inspiration of Dr. Bhabha, in the inspiration of Dr. Sarabhai, I can say that, I said that yes, we can. And he asked me how much time it would take. And I said it would take about precisely the same time in which I think we have wasted so far. The last 3 years, we could not get it. We could not. US has been dragging its feet. And third thing is that how much money it would take. I said at the cost of one supercomputer, we can develop the entire technology ourselves. And that was the challenge, and that's what we did, I think. So I think today, by accepting this award with great humility, I'm feeling very satisfied. mostly in the year when we are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our Prime Minister has been talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, and we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and this will be our unique gift to the nation. So, this time the privilege is that entire supercomputer, right starting from the chip level design, not talking manufacture, chip level design to the entire system development at a scale of the 10 to the power 18 mathematical operations per second. These kind of supercomputers, which is the current state of the art, I think we'll be developing ourselves, and embark. I think we begin the new era. I think we will herald a new era in the field of computer technology. So this is a special significance, and it comes with this award. This is a very satisfying for me and for all of us. I think this will open up new gates for India for manufacturing, and not only manufacturing for India, manufacturing for the world. This kind of technology, which is now at 3 nanometer level. 3 nanometer is the ultimate thing, and the limits of physics we are crossing, and we are developing the supercomputers. We'll be manufacturing the supercomputers right in India. So, with great humility, I accept this award. It's a matter of great satisfaction for me, and it is coming on the, I think, where ECI is celebrating its foundation day, and ECI is having a national conference on this day. So this is a very special day, and I'm very delighted to receive this award. Though I'm not in presence in amidst you, but I'm feeling this. I think I'm feeling as if I'm there with you to celebrate this event. Thank you very much. Today is a very special day for me. For today,
Our next recipient of the award in the research and consultancy category is Dr. Aniruddha Pandit. And we will first read out the customary citation and then invite him to collect his award. Dr. Aniruddha Balchandra Pandit was born on 7 December 1957 in Mumbai, Maharashtra. He earned his B.Tech chemistry degree from Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, Banaras Hindu University in 1980, and earned his PhD degree from University Department of Chemical Technology, now ICT, in 1984. From 1984 till 1990, he worked in the Department of Chemical Engineering, University of Cambridge, United Kingdom, as a research assistant, and then as a research associate with Professor J.F. Davidson, working in the area of bubble breakup and design of multi-phase reactors. He developed many novel designs of gas-liquid contractors and also developed new impeller designs. After returning to India in 1990, he joined ICT as a UGC Research Scientist B and was subsequently promoted to Scientist C, Professor's grade, in 1996. He was instrumental in starting a major activity and program in the area of hydrodynamic cavitation for intensification of physical and chemical processing applications. He has successfully exploited the cavitation phenomena for a variety of operations such as crystallization, emulsification, nanoparticle synthesis, and processes such as esterification, oxidation, etc. on industrial scale. He's been an active industrial consultant for many large-size national and international companies. A unique creative approach of using fundamental knowledge coupled with simple, elegant experiments has resulted into novel cavitational reactors. Professor Pandit has authored over 418 research publications, 5 books, and over 12 chapters with over 30,000 citations, and has 15 patents, and is on the editorial board of 5 international scientific journals. He has guided 51 PhDs and 92 master's students so far. In addition to his research contribution, Professor Pandit has contributed to innovation in teaching at graduate and undergraduate levels, demonstration experiments for elaborating the physical principles of many chemical engineering operations. He is actively involved in working with committees in the area of harnessing solar energy and with tribal population in extending the chemical engineering principles for drying of farm forest product and water disinfection for potable water. He is a president of an NGO named Land Research Institute dealing with the energy and town planning sector. Professor Pandit is currently Vice Chancellor of Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, Prior to this, he has acted as a dean in his capacity of research consultancy and research mobilization and HR for over 9 years. He has been the coordinator of ICT DAE Center for Chemical Engineering Education and Research since its inception in 2008. He has successfully guided and completed many international scientific collaborations with universities from France, Australia, and the Netherlands. He is also on the project appraisal and evaluation committees of the DST and UGC Government of India. He is currently serving as a member of the Board of Governors of the IIT Mumbai. He has been an active industrial consultant to many national and international industries. Dr. Pandit got ISTE National Award for Outstanding Research in 1995, Professor R.A. Rajyadaksha Best Teacher Award on 15 occasions in the past 20 years, Vastwik Award in 1996, Fellow Maharashtra Academy of Science in 97, IICHE Hardelia Award for Excellence in Basic Research in 2001, Distinguished Alumnus Award Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University in 2004, Distinguished Alumnus Award UICT in 2008, INSA Best Teacher Award in 2012, Vishwakarma Medal of Indian National Science Academy 2015, Indian Chemical Council Lifetime Achievement Award 2021, Fellowships of Maharashtra Academy of Science in 97, Indian National Academy of Engineering in 2006, Indian Academy of Science in 2008, Indian National Science Academy in 2009, National Academy of Sciences in India in 2009, and Fellow of the World Academy of Sciences 2015. We welcome Dr. Pandit to kindly come forward and receive his award from the chief guest. And may I request the dignitaries to again do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Dr. Pandit. And Dr. Pandit, we are all eager to hear you, and I request you to kindly share your thoughts with all of us today. Dr. Pandit, please.
Good morning. Dr. Kohli, today's chief guest, Dr. Kirit Parekh, and all those who have been recognized by the council for their contribution in the area of engineering. I am humbled to accept this particular award and being put in the same category as Dr. Bhatkar or Professor Gupta. But I find that encouraging thought when the Compere Padya said that the second inning after this award, there are more things to come. And indeed, there are more things to come. Everybody talks about growth, but the growth cannot be forever. We are living on a planet which has got finite resources, and unless we start using those resources in a manner which is either recyclable or learn from nature following biomimicry, which doesn't waste any resources, output of one becomes an input for something else. I'm waiting for that day when 20 years ago, we all studied during our schooling, we did not have a subject of EVS, environmental sciences, because we were surrounded by nature, and that taught us many things. The modern day school has to have a subject of environmental studies to make students aware what environment is, what nature is, because they are cooped up in a room sitting in front of a either a laptop or a cell, day is not far away when the issue of sustainability sciences will have to be introduced in the school curricula. But the thing will start from engineering. We cannot find or approach an end of the pipe solution. Sustainability engineering, sustainability design, or design sustainability should be an integral part of the undergraduate engineering curricula. Every subject should be taught with an angle associated with the sustainability of that subject, of the practice. Now, if we can do that, then I think today's theme of sustainable engineering would definitely be achieving something as far as Engineering Council of India is concerned. I don't want to give long speeches, but this is my conviction, and I'm very thankful for recognizing me for this particular award, and I appreciate the comments and the selection of juries. In fact, when I met Dr. Kirit Parekh, I remember the day we went to Washington Renewable Energy Congress together, and I'm meeting him after that. It was probably in early 90s, 91, 92. Thank you again, the juries, for selecting me, and I humbly request, accept this particular award on behalf of Institute of Chemical Technology, on behalf of all my students, and on behalf of all the future sustainable engineers. Thank you.
I would request Dr. Pandit to kindly come on the stage and join us. आर्थिक प्रगति, सामाजिक समावेश और पर्यावरण सुरक्षा, यही तीन स्तंभ हैं जो हर ज्ञानी पुरुष या महिला मंच से कह रहे हैं काफ़ी दिनों से, और हमें इनका अनुसरण करना होगा अगर हमें सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की राह पर चलना है। हमारा अगला पड़ाव लाइफ टाइम अचीवमेंट अवार्ड, और आज हम सब के लिए बड़े सम्मान की बात है कि इस साल इस पुरस्कार से श्री महेंद्र राज जी को नवाजा जा रहा है। हम सब उन्हें साल दर साल इस अवसर पर मंच के पीछे बैठा देखते हैं, किंतु आज किसी कारणवश आज वो यहाँ नहीं आ पाए हैं और उनके सुपुत्र श्री रोहित राज इस पुरस्कार को ग्रहण करेंगे। किंतु उसके पहले आप सभी को उनकी शख्सियत से दोबारा रूबरू करवाते हुए मुझे सौभाग्य प्राप्त हो रहा है। Mr. Mahendra Raj graduated in civil engineering in 1946 from Lahore, and the same year joined Punjab PWD as an assistant engineer. He was associated with the Chandigarh project right from its inception and worked on the structural design of Secretariat and High Court buildings designed by Le Corbusier. In 1955, he went to USA for further studies and obtained master's degree from Minnesota in 1956 and CE from Columbia in 1959. On his return to India, he resigned from PWD and started practice as a civil and structural engineer in 1960. During his 60 years of practice, he has been responsible for the design of some of the landmark buildings of India, some of which are Hall of Nations, STC, NDMC, LIC buildings in Delhi, stadiums, Tagore Memorial Hall, Prema Bhai Hall in Ahmedabad, Legislative Assembly in Bhopal, Stadium, Convention Center, and Legislative Assembly in Srinagar. Mr. Raj has made considerable contribution to the profession of consultancy in India as past president of Association of Consulting Engineers India and Indian Concrete Institute. He was past vice chairman of Consultancy Development Center, current vice chairman of Engineering Council of India, and founder president of Indian Association of Structural Engineers. Mr. Raj was very active in the affairs of FIDIC from 1981 onwards for almost 2 decades. He He was member of North-South Committee on Needs and Resources in 1981-82 and later of Client Consultant Relationship Committee, and was member of a task force to draft standard agreement for country representative of a multinational consultancy organization in a developing country. During this period, he had organized 2 meetings of the FIDIC Executive Committee and 2 meetings of ASPAC in Delhi. Mr. Raj was a member of a high-powered committee set up by the Ministry of Urban Development and Poverty Alleviation of the Government of India to draft a comprehensive legislation to regulate and control the activities of builders and developers. He was also member of a committee constituted by the Ministry of Home Affairs for development of model building bylaws for seismic zones 3, 4, and 5, and the review of City, Town, and Country Planning Act and zoning regulations. Works of Mr. Mahendra Raj were covered in many of the national and international magazines like Archie Plus Design, Work Boyne, Swiss magazine, the 11th Circle, Domus, and structural drawings prepared by him were accepted to be placed in archive of Centre Pompidou, Paris. A book titled The Structural Works of Mahendra Raj was published by Park Books of Zurich in 2016. Mr. Mahendra Raj has presented many papers at different forums in India and abroad. To name the few are FIDIC, Singapore, American Concrete Institute, New York, Association of Consulting Engineers, ACE, Indian Concrete Institute, Consultancy Development Center, Institute of Engineers, TCDPAP, Consultex, China, International Association for Bridge and Structural Engineering Symposium, International Society for Soil Mechanics and Foundation Engineering, Indian Geotechnical Society, International Workshop TCDPAP, and ACEM Kuala Lumpur. Inkindo, Bali, Indonesia, Delhi Urban Arts Commission, National Disaster Management Authority, Construction Industry Development Council, Society Franchise des Architects, Paris, France. Mr. Raj has won a number of awards and honors during his professional career. Architectural Engineering Design Award in 1989-90 by Institution of Engineers, India. ACCE Gaurav Award in 1991 by Association of Consulting Civil Engineers. The Chairman's Award 1995 in 1996 presented by Honorable Shri Deve Gowda, Prime Minister of India, in the series Architect of the Year Awards instituted by JK Cements, Kanpur. This was the first time that an award meant for architects was given to an engineer for his outstanding contribution in giving architecture in India a new aesthetic dimension through innovative structural systems. ICI-JI Lifetime Achievement Award in 2001 by Indian Concrete Institute, Scroll of Honor to Eminent Engineers by Institution of Engineers, India chapter of ACI in 2003 by American Concrete Institute, Certificate of Commendation Scroll of Honor in 2005, and Lifetime Achievement Award in 2009 by Consulting Engineers Association of India for his lifetime contribution to the profession. Eminent Engineer Award in 2013 by Engineering Council of India, and several other awards. Ladies and gentlemen, join your hands, and I request Shri Rohit Raj to kindly come and collect the trophy on behalf of Mr. Mahendra Raj, and I request the dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward and do the honors. जोरदार तालियां Lifetime Achievement Award के लिए श्री महेंद्र राज जी के लिए. पंडित साहब. और अब वह पल जिसका हम बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे थे, आइए सुनते हैं हमारे मुख्य अतिथि. ओके, यू वांट टू से द फ्यू वर्ड्स प्लीज.
Just Mr. Raj wants to thank the association and everyone here for the honor that he's been given. He is not well now, and so this is really great for him to get this at this moment in time. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to add that he is now been exhibited in MoMA, New York, and his work is also going to Maxi Pompeii in Rome, where Hall of Nations going to get a separate room altogether. So thank you everyone for your blessings. Thank you so much.
और अब वह पल जिसका हम बेसब्री से इंतजार कर रहे थे, आइए सुनते हैं आज के मुख्य अतिथि पद्म भूषण डॉक्टर किरीट पारिक साहब को।
Good morning, friends. I think it has been a great pleasure for me to be able to chair this jury award for a number of years. And then just to see the kind of people who have contributed greatly to development of technology and engineering skills and profession in India. If you look at the economic growth in different countries, this is largely driven by technical progress. And technical progress is largely an outcome of engineering efforts. And despite that, in some countries, engineers were not given the kind of recognition and honor that they deserve. And that's why I think such an award, at least by Engineering Association, is really well thought out. We need to recognize that engineering contribution is enormous in all our parts of country. If you look at United States today, its preeminent position in economic and development is largely an outcome of the technology, the innovation, and the ability and that it is able to do, and at the same time encourage people who have done innovations to commercialize it, to make some money out of it. And I think it has created a huge fervor and in United States for creating new ideas and new products, processes, and whatnot. Even if you look at China, its huge dominance is now being reflected in its dominance in many engineering and technology area, in the kind of innovations that they do, in the kind of leadership position they have acquired in the world, in IT, I would say in many areas. You can say Chinese are the leaders in the world. And somehow it seems to me that we started out very well. Prime Minister Nehru way back recognized the importance of technology, set up the IITs early, and gave it a huge status in some sense for pushing engineering and education forward. I think, however, we have not really fully recognized or reaped the benefits that we should have got from that. The world has our IIT educations and benefit. India has not. And once I said, well, unfortunately, this brain drain is taking place. Somebody said it's better for the brains to be remaining in India and going into drain than to have brain drain. And it was really the environment that we had created which did not promote the full flowering of creativity and so on. I think our whole strategy in the beginning was an import substitution strategy. And we followed it to some extent, but it was all followed with a large emphasis on public sector. And that in some sense, my belief is that public sector, overemphasis on public sector, discouraged private sector development. At one stage, I know that all consulting projects were going to Engineers India Limited. Engineers India was charging all projects on on cost basis. So it was always, even if you didn't have project, there are idle engineers, their time was charged to projects that they had, even though they did not work on it. And so it was always profitable and so on. But it discouraged any other company, any other private company to come up and do the kind of work that it could have done. I think when we really woke up and decided to encourage private industries as well, perhaps we were still not come out of the mindset fully, and therefore one found that, we are still not having adequate emphasis. Our emphasis and dependence on defense equipment for import of it is really mind-boggling. We are the largest exporter of defense equipment, importer of defense equipment in the world. And the United States technological preeminence, and I would say perhaps China's also, came because they had really putting huge amount of money and defense R&D and did not worry about accounting for every pie or every paise or every cent in that. And they involved all kinds of private universities and institutions in that enterprise. We should have done that. We are still not doing it. It is all confined to DRDO and few such things. And as a result, Tejas, our fighter plane, is under development for 40 years, and it's still going on. We are not targeting what would be the required weaponry 10 years down the line and have large research projects to do that. The only two areas in which we had focused group to do research was atomic energy and space research. And while space research has made good progress and really done well, atomic energy somewhere down the line got lost in its own privileged position. And you find today that yes, we produce our own reactors and so on, but time overrun and cost overrun are an endemic part of our atomic energy projects. And unless we can overcome that, it can never really compete with other forms of energy. And I think we really need to think about how we can mobilize the huge amount of manpower, the skills, the creativity that rests with Indian engineers and people in India. We would continue to remain somewhat at the receiving end of technology from the world. I think, I'm not saying that we should do everything ourselves, but we should be leaders at least in some areas of technology development, and some areas we should import from others. But there are many things we can do, it seems to me, that could make India bring it on the technological forefront in the world. I cannot resist some temptation on saying something about sustainable buildings and development. Some years ago, we studied which sector of the economy produces maximum emissions. And it was construction industry. And this is not so that the embodied emissions in the materials that we use, cement and steel and other things, made construction industry the largest emitter of these. And even when I was heading the expert group on low carbon strategy for sustainable development, we recognize that buildings, not only during construction, but even when they're under use, consume a lot of energy. And this whole idea to build buildings in such a way that they either take renewable resources or substitutions of material or minimize material cost and so on is extremely critical and important. And I think here we also had looked during that study that many buildings which are given platinum rating by environmentalists, their saving in energy from the design of the shell by exploiting light and natural ventilation was about 15%. And the total savings of 70–80%, the rest came from better equipment, better management, and better management of HVAC, humidity, air conditioning, and so on. There also, engineering innovations are critical in all these areas. The most important challenge that civil engineers would face, I would say, in building construction is what do we do about cement, which is one of the largest emitting sector industry in the country, and very hard to abate in some sense or mitigate its emissions. But that's a challenge I'm sure we can overcome. And with chemical engineering area in which India is certainly one of the leaders in the world, I hope can develop new ideas and new materials which are more sustainable and more manageable. I think I must say that I'm delighted that Engineering Council is giving these awards and that I'm being privileged to chair its jury for a number of years. Thank you all. Thank you.
इन सुंदर शब्दों से पुरस्कार विजेताओं और श्रोताओं की हौसला अफजाई के लिए शुक्रिया हमारे मुख्य अतिथि का. थैंक यू डॉक्टर पारिक फॉर शेयरिंग द वर्ड्स ऑफ विजडम. एंड व्हाट डॉक्टर पारिक जस्ट सेड, यू हैव some material distributed on your table, and you can join this seminar on 6th May 2022 at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Good management practices for energy efficient buildings by introducing passive cooling designs to reduce operational costs and improve health and comfort and promote use of non-HCFC and low GP alternatives. So all of you have not done, you can just fill it out and attend this seminar. This will be very useful. A summation of different emotions is the mystery called life. As all good things, our morning session draws to a close, and I now request Dr. P.R. Swaroop, DG CIDC, and Member Secretary, Engineering Council of India, to propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Swaroop, please. इससे पहले I would request Dr. Kohli to kindly honor our dignitaries today by presentation of a shawl. Can we have the shawls, please? Dr. Kohli to present the shawl to Dr. Kirit Parikh. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please. और डॉक्टर कोहली से आग्रह है वो डॉक्टर पंडित का भी सम्मान करें शॉल उड़ाकर उन्हें. Thank you so much, dignitaries, for honoring us by attending and chairing this session. And now Dr. Swaroop, please, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ashutosh, and very warm welcome to all of you, and my profuse thanks for everyone to have made it. We had been talking to our friends throughout the country and even outside, and the fear they had always was that this is the third or fourth wave. Now people have stopped taking any count. So they said there are things that are happening, and can we basically have a look at it remotely? So therefore, what we thought was that let us go ahead and have all of you, and thank you once again for being the real brave hearts today. And the only thing that I miss this morning is our permanent mentor, Sri Mahendra Rajji. I know he's of ripe age, and I am absolutely certain that he is going to be completing 100th year of his age. Please convey this to him. Also tell him that we have a deal, and the deal is very simple, that till such time the engineer's bill is enacted, he is going to be around. And we are all going to be celebrating that day. And that's a deal between me and him, and between ECI and him. Please convey this to him. We indeed miss him. Many of the iconic structures that he had designed and constructed, and they were actually kind of landmark for this city, Hall of Nation, and several more. It gives a bit of a pain when you realize that Hall of Nation is no more. But then the memories still remain there, the drawings remain there, and the future generations are going to be benefiting from all the designs that Mr. Raj made. So we remember him very fondly, and we pray that he's back to his good health and comes back to us again. Thank you so much. Let me also talk about few things that are emerging now. And these are the immediate challenges which are in front of us. But somehow, as a body of engineers, the apex body of engineers, I think it is incumbent on me to basically put a small memory note there and reminder note there. There are two things that are happening. Of course, there are many things that are, but two things which are of great interest to engineers. And first one comes out of a morbid happening that is there in Europe. Ukraine is getting totally devastated. And of course, the neighboring regions are also in a bit of a problem now. The country has to be reconstructed once again, and it requires everything. Believe you me, it is going to be a replay of Marshall Plan. I was not born then. Dr. Parikh would be remembering all those things, and I've learned it from the history, the way Europe was constructed. Who are the people who are going to be constructing Ukraine now and remaining part of Europe that is getting disturbed? I have no doubts in my mind that Indians have to play a great role. And very soon, we are going to go in for a serious deliberation as to decide that what should be our future course of action. Basically, the services and the kind of support that is needed to reinstate this country would require all branches of engineering, all disciplines of engineering to come together and find solutions. May that be software, may that be the kind of construction techniques, the construction chemicals, chemistry, physics, or whatever one may talk about. Everything would be needed. Is going to be a massive, massive work for all of us. That is number one. The second point that I would like to make is that something that is happening right in front of us within this country, and we are not making a note of it. Believe you me, in last 25 years, we have constructed assets worth almost about 150 lakh crores worth. That's the intrinsic value of the assets in the country. And the average age is almost like about 17 to 18 years. Many of the structures are basically showing disrepair. They are in a problem. They might have lost their utilities, and they need replacement. But we have to prepare then ourselves for that kind of a challenge. It's not going to be the new construction. It is going to be basically the reinstatement of what we have constructed already. We keep hearing the news about the flyovers and bridges falling down, the houses and the dwelling units falling down. But where are the people to do the diagnostics? Where are the people who can actually get into the reinstatement of such structures that have been constructed? So I think we'll have to start looking at these particular uncharted territories also. And that is what is going to be deciding the challenge for the future generation of engineers. Responding to what Dr. Parikh said, that construction industry is a big polluter, and especially the cement manufacturing and usage is a big polluter. No doubts about it. But I think there are problems with the mining laws, sir. As a matter of fact, I was discussing yesterday, and there was one proposition I was giving to the cement plant owners. And I said that you have the benefit of having all kind of mines with you. And why would you not be in a position to supply the prefabricated elements rather than supplying cement? Why should we be constructing them in the townships and the urban settings and even now the rural settings for that matter? You can use the aggregate, which is basically adding to the overburden of your mines. Why can't you do that? And very interestingly, they came out with the reason that probably the Mining Act does not permit them to use the overburdens. For what reason, I do not know. So I think that's going to be one of the challenges that Engineering Council of India would be taking upon themselves, and I'll have a discussion in the board and we'll take it further so that this particular problem that we have on hand, and that is truth, how can we get out of it? There are many more things that I wanted to speak, but time is limited, and therefore I'll begin by thanking first of all of you. You all have made it today, and that has made our day. Thank you so much. I'm really obliged for you to be here, number one. My second part of thanks, that goes to, without any question, to Dr. Kirit Parekh. Dr. Parekh has always been like an elder in the family, and we have taken the liberty to go to him to seek his blessings, and we have never come back unfulfilled. He has always been supporting us. Thank you, sir, for being with us. You always are an inspiration. And I am so proud that, like me, he too is a civil engineer. And that is something that connects us together. Thank you, sir. Let me thank Dr. Kohli. He has been an inspiration. As a matter of fact, he was given this assignment by my first chairman when I joined Construction Industry Development Council 27 years ago. And my chairman told him that here is a boy who runs a bit too fast, so keep on holding his coattails. And for last 26 years, he had been holding my coattails, making it sure that I don't run astray. Thank you very much, sir. He had been planning and he had been looking after the organization of this particular event, for which we are so grateful to him. Thank you so much. I have to indeed thank all the awardees. You have all achieved what many could not. And we would like you to be seen as a role model for the younger lot of engineers who are coming out. Incidentally, it so happens that probably India is the only country which is producing the largest number of qualified engineers. I would not say professional engineers, but qualified engineers today. I wish and hope that they look at you as icons and they try to emulate you. Thank you very much. All of you have done your bit, and these are going to be the stepping stones for future generations. Thank you so much for being here with us. I thank the sponsoring organizations who, in spite of many difficulties, they came with open heart and supported this event to happen. So all the sponsors, they deserve a big applause and big thanks. Thank you so much. Last but not the least, I must thank all my staff members, led by Mr. B.R. Jain, who's our advisor. He has been managing this show, the logistics and other things that has been organized by them. And thank you so much. You have been really working very hard for last 1 month, I know that. Thank you so much. With that, it comes to an end, and I think we'll be proceeding for tea. Ashutosh, thanks once again. Thank to all of you, and we'll be interacting now. Thank you so much. God bless you.